Hi guys, we are going to do the Swirling Spyro Granny Square. Let me see if we can get a good full view of this. I think it's very, very, very pretty. And don't let it make you think it's complicated. I think this was fairly easy to do. Only thing I am going to change from the directions is I like the magic circle because I get a tighter middle for it. I like both. I will do the chains, and this one requires chain 5. So if you want to do the chains, remember you're starting out with a chain 5 and join with a slip stitch for the ring. But if you like the magic circle, I have it backwards, then you can do that also. And we are only going to use 2 stitches. We're going to use a single crochet, and we're going to use chains. And what the yarn I'm using today, so my supply, I just got, I've got some repurposed yarn. That's why it's all squiggly looking. I frogged this. I've mentioned before, I love going to a thrift store. The one that I really like, these blankets are only 99 cents. So I really enjoy that. I'm going to use a size 6 millimeter, a 5.5 would work. And of course a pair of scissors. And if you like the option, use a stitch marker, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. So a magic circle, if you have not used one before, is I just wrap mine around, hold my tail, and then I wrap it around, and then I kind of hold it with my pinky, and then I'm going to go under the first one, grab my yarn, and this is the only awkward part for me, is grabbing that yarn to make that loop. And now you can tighten up your yarn, and I like to get my tail worked out. Of course, I work this with me as I go. Like I said, this is kind of because it's a repurposed yarn, it's kind of squiggly. I like to tighten a little bit until I can hold it with my fingers so I can get started. So find that comfortable spot, because you can loosen it. So we're going to chain 3. 1, 2. We did, so there's 1, 2, 3. I added 2 more. And now I'm going to we want to keep this one fairly, not like loose, but fairly loose, because we want to go back into that later. So we're going to 3 single crochets. And this is going to be our repeat all the way around. We do 3 singles, then chain 3. Then 3 single crochets. And then chain 3. I'll tighten my ring up a little bit more. We're down to our last chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then 3 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now this is where, if you want to use your stitch marker, we're going to put it in the last single crochet that we make in our round for every row. So now we don't slip stitch, we don't connect to the, we're going to just leave it like that. I'm going to straighten out my little circle here because we want to go into that space. This row we're chaining 4. This is our second row. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should say round. And then we're going to do 2 into our chain space down here. We're going to do 2. This is something we do for every row. Every chain space is 2. So then we're going to look at our 3 single crochets, and we are going to put a single crochet and a single crochet. Now, I normally don't carry a stitch marker with me because I know that this very last single crochet in every row will not be used. So I skip that. So I chain 4. And then we're going to do just same thing. We're going to do single crochet, single crochet. And then you want, if you're unsure about that first stitch, make sure you kind of pull it apart till you can see it good. Single crochet. And I'm just going to say it again. We are not stitching into the last single crochet in that row. So we chain 4. Find our center. You just want to make sure we're into the right ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me clean that up. There's a tail. Okay, so then we're going to do our last one. And then we're going to make sure we go 1, 2. And this is where you're going to move your stitch marker if you're using one and put it in that last stitch. Now we'll get it all straightened out later. Let me cut my little tail here so I don't have to have it getting in the way. So on this round 3, we are going to start chaining 5. And now we're going to do this for the next 9 rows. They're always going to have a chain 5. So we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Always 2 in our chain space. And then we're just going to do our single crochets. Got that a little tight, didn't I? 1 there, 2, 3. And remember, we said we know we don't do one in the last one, so we're chaining 5. It's time to chain 5. And we're putting 2. This is going to give us our spiral effect. Yep, be right back. Hey guys, I had to pause, so let me look and make sure I know where we're at. We did 2 in this round, so we're starting our 3rd chain 5. And remember, we're chaining our single crochets in our previous chain. And then we're going to do a single crochet in every stitch except for the last one here between our chains. So we have one more to go. And we're going to chain 5 again. 4, 5. And then we're going to put 2 single crochets in this chain. And then a single crochet in the next stitches. Then we should be ready to move our stitch marker. There we go. I'm hoping that trying to explain about the last stitch not being used helps you if you're not a stitch marker user. But if you are, then you're going to rotate to here. Now I'm going to stop using mine because I just already know that I'm never going to stitch in the last single crochet. So we're going to chain again 5. The next several rows are chaining 5 until we get to a row 11. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute, did I? Yep, here we go. Okay, so these rounds are always the same. 2 single crochets in the previous chain we made, and then single crochets in the following single crochets until you get to the last one. We're not using that one, so we just start that all over again. Now I'm going to do several rows because right now nothing's going to change except for how many single crochets you're going to be doing. And let me see here. So when you are doing this, we ended up with, there's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When we reach that being 13, then we've come to round 11, and that'll be the last row we do. That's our last row of doing the chains, chain 5 rather, and then the single crochets. We're going to the counts are going to change or be different from there. So if you want to go ahead and make your round, I'm just going to do it one more time so you can, hopefully it helps. We're chaining 5 still, and then we're going to chain 2, and then we're doing single crochets in that round. And we're leaving this one undone, and then we're going to just start it again. Now when you come to where you're doing, counting these 2, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, when you can do that count and you're at 13, you know that's the last row that we're doing the chain 5s. And then we'll meet up at the end of that one. So I'm going to see you here in just a little bit. Okay, just popping back in and just giving kind of an update what I'm doing, seeing how you are. Now right now I'm just doing my chain 2 in my previous chain. We're still doing the 5 chains. So there's 2. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means I only have 3 more full rounds to make it to my row 11, which is my goal right now. And if you're unsure about what row you're on, just come down here. This is our first chain 3. This was our 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 5 more rows to go. Is that right? Well, wait a minute. That's maybe a partial one. So let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's 7. So we technically have 3 more rows to go. So yeah, so we're on 9 and we're going to 13. Yep, okay. Making sure my math is mathing the right way. But just wanted to give it an update. So questions is like, how are you guys doing? Are you doing okay in this crazy heat? 1, 2, 3, 4. I tell you what, I'm not a heat-loving person. And then on top of our heat, we are having a lot of rain, and it just gets muggier and steamier, it seems. And I'm just not something I'm enjoying. So, are you doing this with me? And if you are, how's it going? Are you using a stitch marker, or are you just doing like I'm doing and counting? When I get closer to the 13 stitches, I will be counting each side, and checking that I'm only doing 4. I don't get carried away. So I might pop my stitch marker back in when I hit the 11th stitch of single crochets, or 12, and kind of carry it through. Now, don't be, this is, I probably will be blocking this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then get it all nice and straight for myself. And then today, I'm behind. I don't know if you guys saw my community page. I got hit, a little over a week ago, and the fun thing is, it was the other person's fault technically, but because there's some law, and automatically goes to being my fault, which is just frustrating, because I know it was hers, and she could have stopped if she wasn't speeding or being distracted, but because of this law here, it's automatically just considered deemed mine, human error. And it's in other states too, because I got to talking to a friend of mine from Arizona. 2, 3, 4, 5, and she said that's the same out there. There was an incident where something happened, and it was just that it was just automatically their fault because of the way it had happened. So sometimes it doesn't even matter if it's whose fault it is. It's just they go by what's easiest, and it's a no fault state. Her car is going to be less to repair, and we both had the same insurance, so everybody's wondering if that's why. But the end result is I've got a very damaged door, and my insurance didn't cover it. I just have liability, and it's a very old car. It's 18 years old. Let's see, 2006. Oh, let's see, 8. No, it's more than 18 years old. Yeah, I was right. It's 18 years old. So, it'll work out. It's very stressful. This is why this video is delayed, because I was trying to make it, and only got to a couple of rounds before I got a phone call about the car. And it's very, as I said, it's just been very stressful. But we're not hurt. The car is drivable. So that's what she tried to just tell me, and I am thankful. I mean, it could have been a whole lot worse, and it would have been a whole lot worse since my granddaughter was back there, and I think that's why I've got more upset, is because of that situation. It's like, come on, you got to be, kidding me. I wouldn't have, but anyway, it's pretty much all said and done. My daughter wants me to try to do an appeal, but if it's the laws saying that it's my fault, then there's just not much more I can do about it. Okay, I popped in my little marker here because I'm at 11, so I'm just going to kind of save my rounds here. So let me see, we're doing 5, 2, 5. So I will be doing the pick a stitch this week. I have a request to see if I can do beadwork. I'm trying to get a clarification, either to use heart-shaped beads or try to do a heartbeat. So I'm going to get on my computer, get on my pixel art. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I'm going to get on my pixel art and check that out and see if I can kind of make something the way they were wanting it. So I might have that to share. I am still waiting on my beads. I checked. I ordered them from Temu. It might have cost me a little bit more for Amazon, but at least I would have had them by now. So I should get these beads between now and the 8th. So now that's what I'm waiting on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do some more rows. I'll get back with you. Remember, we're still chaining 5, 2 single crochets in the chain, and then 1 single crochet and all the other but on top of the other single crochets, skipping the last one. So I'll see you back here in just a little bit. Okay, I'm on my last corner here, or side. I've chained my 5. We're going to just do the 2 in the chain, and then we can move on to the next row 12, which is going to be different, and we'll go over that here in just a little bit. I'm trying to see how to post all these, because I don't want to just dump everything out at one time, but I don't want I'm kind of behind on posting them because of the other situations. So, and then when I have my granddaughter, it's kind of hard to post a video because I'm focused on her, which is, you know, more important. But I enjoy that, and she doesn't. I mean, if it's a small, short video, a little bit of video, I don't have much problem with that. All right, this is, like I said, this is going to have to be blocked really good, but it'll be easier once we get the square part on there. So now we are on row 12. So we can kind of count here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Of course, let's see. Yep, so now we're on row 12. On row 12, we are going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we are going to skip the next chain 5 space and chain 2 in the next 2. So just to make sure what we're doing here, we're not going in this anymore. So now we are going to skip these 2 chains, and then we are going to go in the top of this one. So this row is like kind of forget what we've been doing. Once we chain, we are not going to put single crochets in the previous chains. So we should have 10 stitches here. Because again, we are not going to be chaining in the last one. So get this done. We'll kind of go back and make sure that we've done the right ones or has the right amount of stitches. Okay, so let's go back here a little bit. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's good. All right, so we're going to do that. Just repeat that all the way around. We're chaining 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Get me some yarn loose here. And we're not chaining into this chain, nor into the first 2 stitches in that chain. So we want to go directly to this one. And I didn't move my, where'd my marker go? Oh, there it is. I've lost it completely. But I didn't, you were going to be able to tell where we started. Do you guys have any fun summer plans? make any trips. Okay, again, we want to make sure we're skipping these 2 that were in the chain. So we're skipping 2 single crochets and then going to the next one. I'd love to go someplace nice, but I am here with my family, so I'm not complaining. I like to travel. I don't get to do it that much, but I do love it. But I'm happy to be here, be around my grandchildren. I got to see my other granddaughter and grandson. We did a play park thing, water park, sprinkler park play date with my granddaughter here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry about that. I got to count those before I get started on it. And so that was fun. I was talking to my oldest son's wife, and she's talking about getting together hopefully to visit, and I get to see my other granddaughter. Don't see her near as much. My daughter-in-law's she's so sweet. When I had lived with him for a little bit because I didn't have any place to live, and I love doing puzzles. Don't do them near enough anymore, but I do like doing them. And she was showing me one of the ones she's done. It was gorgeous. She's a Disney girl. 3, 6, 7, 8, but we used to have fun sitting at the table and working them together. So I miss those days. It's nice to have those fun memories. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I got carried away. I said we'd know when we were at the end of it, and then I wasn't talking instead of paying attention. All right. So now we are going to break this up. We're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do a single crochet in that 8 chain we did. Connect it. Then we're going to do another 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 4. Well, how did I get 5? Okay, I chained 1 too many. Let's go back. Let's start that a little bit. I said chain 5. So we're chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to anchor that to our chain 8. We're going to chain 4 again. And just repeat that. We're going to chain back into that single crochet in that chain. And then we're going to do 4 more. And then we are going to make our first single crochet in, we're skipping 1, 2 into that third one. And then here we are only going to have 7 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to work on that corner again. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet into that 8 chain that we had. And make sure we're doing single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to make another single crochet in that chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip the first 2, and then we should be doing our 7. 7. And then we're going to start that over. So we're going to do that 2 more times, and this is what it's going to be looking like on our corners. And our very last row is going to be mainly single crochets all the way around, and then we'll be almost done with this. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the next 2 corners out, and we'll be right back. Okay, so our next to the last row, or which would be our row 14. Let's see, wait a minute. Hold on 1 minute. Oh, hold on, let me read this. Okay, yeah, I had went from 13 to 15, and it's like, wait a minute, that wasn't reading right. So we are chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. And then we are going to put that in. Straighten up these a little bit more. We're going to put a 1 single crochet in this one. There we go. Then we're going to chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one here, we're going to put a single crochet. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, 4. We're going to go right back because that's our corner here. And then we're going to chain 4 again. This means a lot of chains on this 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put it into this one. Chain 4 more. 2, 3. Can't catch my yarn. 4. Okay, now we are going to skip the first 2 again. So 1, 2. We're going to go in here, and this time we're only making 4 single crochets. So 4 is the big number here. And then we're going to start our other corner again. We're just going to start that over again. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4. We get into 4. Get our little peak here. I don't know why this one's looser than the first one, but it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, come on. 4. We're going to go right back into that same chain because we're making our little corner. Then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 4 more. We're skipping 1, 2, putting 4 single crochets. Alright, we're going to do this 2 more times. I'm going to do it again with you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go into chain 4 down here, do a single crochet, chain 4, one, 2, 3, 4. Chain 4 more. We're skipping 2, 1, 2. And we're just going to do that one more time, and I'll see you here in a minute. Okay, so we're going to just get started. This is our very last row, and it's all single crochets. And so we are going to go to our first set of chains, and we're going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 4, and now we are not crocheting this one. We're going to skip that. We're just going to, right now we're just doing the chains. We're going to do 4, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we're doing 4 more here. Okay, so now we're at the peak here. We're going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. My yard's being fiddly. I'm going to chain 2. We're going to go back in here and do 3 more. Okay, hold on guys, I've got to put a charger on my phone. Okay, alright, I hope you can see this. It'll charge a little bit more here, and I can turn my light back on, so we'll be right back. I'm going to wait for my light to come back on. Okay, I think I got it charged enough where we can hopefully finish this row out. We were on the peak here. We chained 3, or we did 3 single crochets, chained 2, and we were working on our 3 single crochets. And then we're going to go back to doing 4 single crochets in these chains. Okay. And 4 more single crochets. Alright, so we should have 4 single crochets on our sides. And then we're just going to start on that corner again. Okay. Again, 4 single crochets. We're skipping that anchored single crochet. Alright, so now we're in our peak. Here, we're going to do 3. Chain 2. Go back and do 3. Four, and go again. This is the other side of that corner. I gotta fight my ball of yarn. How many we do? 1, 2, 3. 1 more. And then we're going to do 4 single crochets in the top of the previous rows. Did I do that wrong? Yep, I did. I skipped one. It's really easy to do, so we want to make sure we catch that 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're just going to do the last corner, and we'll meet back. And I'm going to put this up on my blocking, and so you can see how it would look like once it gets all nice and shaped. Okay, here is my finished square. So I've dampened it, and just so I've stretched it so it will be try to keep its shape. Like I said, I used, I'm going to put that there, and one over here, kind of seeing spaces that could be more prominent. Okay. And see that spiral in it. Whoops, sorry. And once that sits for a few days, I'll take it off to see how it looks. But I hope you enjoyed it. This is pulled out. This is the one I did previously. You can kind of see how it goes. I did not block this one, and so I'm going to try it with today's one to see how it looks. Keep finding ways to try to put little pegs in it to make it look sure it's going to do it. But I hope you enjoyed it. Can't wait till I get a collection of these, hopefully we can figure out how to piece them together and make a sample blanket. I think that'd be fun to do. And I will be seeing you guys later. I appreciate you watching. I know it was kind of long today, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you for Pick a Stitch of the week, which is going to be, I think it was kind of neck and neck for a while. I love this week's because it seemed to go up and down for both of them. And this week's, it's the smooth wavy stitch. So we're going to be using 2 colors. If you want to do it with me, pick some colors that you like, and we will revisit the stair stitch at another time, of course. And I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks for watching, guys.